Happy Monday, everybody. So, it's 11:36, and I'm making a really cool recipe that is so simple. It's just beef stroganoff with ground beef. But this recipe comes together in 25 minutes. And I haven't put the sour cream in it yet because I'm going to portion it up and then just put the sour cream in it as I serve it so I can freeze it better. But I used the Salentini, I think it's called Salenti pasta, the little corkscrew ones. Really cool, because I wasn't sure if I was going to make lasagna soup and use ground beef, or if I was going to make beef stroganoff, but then I had some mushrooms to use, so I went with beef stroganoff, and I had some sour cream in the house. So one calls for two. This is the recipe, and it comes from Damn Delicious. I've shown it before. It's an excellent one. One pot beef stroganoff. It's 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I used 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. Because they used lean ground beef, I used 80/20, so I used some of my fat from that. 12 ounces of Cremini mushrooms, thickly sliced. I had white Snowcap, 12 ounces, so I used like 10 ounces because I wanted to save some for a salad. Half a medium sweet onion. I used a little Spanish onion. Ground pepper, 1 pound of lean ground beef. I did 80/20, so I didn't do that extra. I didn't put 2 cloves of garlic in it. I only put like a baby teaspoon, probably 1/8 of a teaspoon of minced garlic. Half a teaspoon of dried thyme, and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. 1/4 cup of dry white wine. I didn't have white wine, so I used 1/4 cup of chicken broth. No sodium. The Heirloom packets. 4 cups of beef stock. I didn't have beef stock. I didn't want the salt, so I used 3 packets of Heirloom no sodium beef broth with 5.5 cups of water I put in instead of 4. And then 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I didn't want a lot of salt, so I did 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Honestly, mustard is not my thing, so I did 1/2 of a tablespoon. 8 ounces of egg noodles uncooked, so I used the Salentini. I'm not saying it right, I know I'm not. I used less than that. And then you put in your sour cream and your parsley at the end, but I'm not going to put it in. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Let this cook down a little bit more, because these noodles are a little bit more bulky than... I just took them out of the box. They're a little more bulky than a noodle. And I also bought the Champal ones for the lasagna, so I have a mix. But I mean, that's it. It called for like a little salt and pepper. I did like a pinch. Because I'm really trying to watch sodium. It's like big bad thing for me and most people. It's hidden in everything. Once you start reading the labels, you're like, oh my god, it's sodium. So yeah, so does it say lower sodium? Just want to make sure my pasta is cooked, and it is. It's fork tender, but that doesn't mean anything. I gotta taste it. Yep, it's cooked, and it tastes like stroganoff right now. I didn't over brown my I just want to cover my noodle. I didn't over brown the meat. I just got made sure there was no pink. There we go. I like to dilute things because I cook it down, and I find I'll bring it to a little boil here. My oven doesn't take long because it's electric to get it back up to a boil. I like to dilute and rinse things because I cook it a little longer on the stove than it needs to be cooked. I'll leave it like that till it comes to a boil and then do one more simmer and be done. A really quick recipe, so I thought I'd share it with you. Damn delicious. One pot beef stroganoff. You could add, if you had like turkey sausage or turkey, you could do a chicken one. I've done chicken with this. Just use chicken broth. You don't need the wine. I always try to buy a little wine to have in the house for cooking, but I don't use it enough and then it goes to waste. I have a little bottle of white wine in my refrigerator that I used once, and now it's like 8 months old, and I'm probably going to throw it out. So just sup in some chicken broth if you don't want to have the white wine. And that's it. I thought I'd share my recipe. Today I am working on the finishing touches. Look who's snuggling and being so sweet, Dustin. He's hiding from his Revolution Plus, which he is getting today. I had him walk in the rain and the wind for nothing. I walked to the vet in the rain and the wind. Okay, so this is called the Tree of Life. Let's move that. Tree of Life Afghan. And it's curling on the side because it's got stockinette going on here. So stockinette is famous for the little curl it does, right? So you have these twin trees and a divider, and then you have your flower section, divider, and more twin trees. Nice, huh? It's fun. And then you make the border separate, and you just sew it on. And it's supposed to look like, let's see if I did it right. You're supposed to sew it waist tail, right side to right side like this. So it looks like you've continued on in garter stitch here. And I'll probably do a mattress stitch. And this design comes from Nikki Epstein. And it was originally called, then all the way down. And then you could do that, like Nikki Epstein. It was called, she designed it, and it was called the Trees Breathe Afghan. It's in her book called Cover Ups with Nikki Epstein. From her knitting personal collection. She's got beautiful tapestry and all kinds of beautiful things in there. And so I've never done a blanket where you sew in the border later. It's going to be interesting. And she suggests that you do it a little at a time. So I'm going to, I think it's going to take about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 13 leaves to come down this side. And I'm guessing about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to go across the top. So I'm just making pieces, binding off, and then I'm going to sew them in. And then I'll wash in black. The gauge on this, the yarn you use is Pound of Love, Antique White, Lion brand. It's beautiful and soft. And you need to know how to cable. It's an experienced advanced level 5. But really, I think the difficulty in this is learning the pattern, how to read the pattern, and then once you have it, you got it. It's fun. The stitches change up so much with the cabling that it's a nice little piece. And Lion brand came out with Pound of Love, Tree of Life, Baby Blanket, Heirloom Blanket. So it's a free download. The pattern is here. Got lots of charts. There it is there. Free knitting pattern, Lion brand, Pound of Love, Baby, Tree of Life. Pattern number is 90430 AD. So I think the border is really interesting. On this one, it's called the Tulip Finishing Border. Here, so you just keep working 18 rows till you get your pieces. And all the special stitches are in there. If you have any spaces, like I have a few spaces, once I block it and wash it and block it and pin it, which the next thing I'm going to buy is some blocking boards. All my little buds will lay flat to my flowers. So all this will drape down, and some of these little spaces will get covered up once I block it. And this is all even. It's just curled right now, but it'll stretch out. It's called a leaf border in the book, but on the pattern it's called the tulip border. I want to show you the book real quick. So if you want the original pattern, it's right here. Cover Up with Nikki Epstein. Cover Up with Nikki Epstein, knitted afghans from her personal collection. This is the Tree of Life afghan. It's beautiful. It's a multiple of 44 plus 4. So if you want to make the large one, I'm also working on this one. It's called Doves. This book is $29.95. I've got quite a few of her books. I get them at Amazon, and this one was $8.99. And it's in beautiful condition. And I have some that I've paid $29 for too. They're worth every penny. This one's on the hook right now with a bunch of rabbits that I'm working on. We're on the needle. Here's the whole thing. All of her stuff comes out looking like tapestry. If you have an animal lover, this is the nature one. Look at all the beautiful texture. Ducks, grapes, foxes, rabbits. I'm making that one for somebody. All the beautiful charts. You could mix and match your charts. Another one I have on the hook is this one back here. I can't show you all of them because some of them are gifts. But her work is a mix of tapestry and just really, she mixes her art medium. There it is right there. Trees Breeze. The design for this pattern has over the years become one of my most endearing showpieces. Many fine knitters have made it, and I'm happy to include it in this collection. It is worked in one piece, and the tree and flower patterns repeat horizontally, starting and ending with the trees. It is bordered by a leaf stitch, edging, knit, and sewn around the afghan. So there it is. They're using Lion brand wool ease, 20% wool, 80% cotton, in the color Fisherman for this original one. Oh, there is a lace in there. Okay. And there it is right there. And then in Lion, there's the chart. In Lion brand, free download. They're using, how to think about it. They're using the Pound of Love. So it's just more of a baby yarn. But what I would find for a substitute comparable yarn that's fantastic, a little more higher end, 16 ounces was $11.99, but that's a lot to work with. Vanna's Choice is nice. I think I spent $6.99 for each skein, 3.5 ounces. But if you don't like to work with wool, and neither do I don't mind spending it because a portion goes to St. Jude's. hospital. So this is a really nice 4 that would work up like the wool ease if you don't like working with wool. And if I was to make this for a baby again, I would pick a color in Vanna's Choice Lion Brand instead of Pound of Love, because what I found is there are areas in Pound of Love that are not a 4 medium. They degrade to a 3 or a 2, and it's so soft, it's very splitty. So you're going to have weak areas that you got to do a duplicate stitch over when you're done. Other thing I found is after working the whole thing up and ripping out a portion of it 3 times, look what happened to the yarn. The sheen came off of it. It's sort of, let me see if I can show you. Like this is more of a yellow, and this is more of a dull. So I can use this. It's more like a wheat, but the luster is off of it. See? It faded, and it became dull. So I don't like when you rip out and it changes the color and it takes the sheen off of it. And if the yarn is so soft, it gets splitty, then you're just going to have weak areas. And this is a one that's more sturdy. So I thought I would show it again. Get it, Lion Brand. And I have nothing against Pound of Love. It's lovely. But I wouldn't use this again for this. Plus, you have to really break this down into a lot of skeins before you get working, because it's just impossible to work with that much yarn. It just blows up into a big egg. And then it explodes into a big bunch of yarn in front of you. So that's what I'm working on today. Hopefully I'll get the border on it. I think I will. And that's that. Hey, boo. Yeah, he's my boo baby. He needs his revolution today, so he's kind of... If I go in one room, he goes in the other. He knows. All right, go back on oven. I'm going to give it a little parsley now. No, I'll wait till after it boils at the end. So I'm going to bring it to a boil one more time. So that has not even a pinch, a pixie dusting. When I say a pixie dusting of salt, I'm so serious, you guys. If I have any salt at all, I've got 10 pounds on me overnight. So, and trouble breathing. So I'm really struggling with the salt, the sodium situation. So I always go low sodium. And I'm looking at everything for hidden sodium. Because over the quarantine, I ate fast food. I did. And I've seen how sodium has taken away my mother, my grandmother, some uncles. It's just not a good thing. So, trying to do no sodium is almost impossible, but I'm trying to keep it under 1,000, sometimes 500. Yeah, so I'm doing mostly plant-based vegetables right now because I gained 20 pounds. I had 10 pounds on me before the quarantine. I went from 110 to 120. I was hovering between 110, 114, 120, 121, 123. And by Christmas 2019, I hit 125. So, and then I went back down to 120. But then over the quarantine, I hit 130, then 133, then 134. So I think, I think just having the extra food in the house. And I'm right next door to a store, but I didn't want to keep going. So I did kind of stock up on stuff. And some of it was stupid, like non-perishable, like crackers. I never eat crackers. Chips. I don't know why I got chips. Cheese doodles, Cheez-Its. I mean, I ate some stupid stuff. But then I had nights where I really just treated myself to pizza. Yeah. Or like onion rings, or, just things I don't normally eat. Or already made canned soup. When it finally was back on the shelf, I stocked up on that. Then I thought I should use it. A lot of sodium in that soup. I usually grab a bunch of dry beans and soak them, but this time I was like, let me grab some emergency canned beans. Sodium, tons of sodium. So now I'm trying really hard to get that down. So I'm just portioning up the beef stroganoff in little 2-cup portions, huh? Yeah, and I ordered Chinese a couple times. Christmas, fried rice. What else did I order, Dustin? Oh, a couple fish fries over Lent. French fries. My pretty tree. It usually blooms the week of Mother's Day, so it's right on time. But it's been bloomed for about a week now, and I'm just glad the wind didn't take it down. We had some high wind. I picked up a hibachi and blew it around the courtyard. And I told my neighbor, go get your hibachi, because it looked like a flying saucer was coming at the window. But I called it my prayer and poetry tree. It's actually a peace blossom, I think. And it has withstood super sandy. It's withstood everything. And I usually just sit down there. I usually just sit down there and write poetry. Or write prayer journal, gratitude. For years, that's been my spot. And I love it. And it only blooms for about 10 days. So it's usually bloomed for my birthday and then Mother's Day. And that's it. It's going to rain any minute again. And I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have the Lilac Festival this year. They've been talking about, they're not sure. What, honey? What? He's been walking around smelling the walls. You're hunting. You hunting? Oh, wait. Do I have your flashlight in my pocket? No. I keep this little laser light on me. I have your revolution in my pocket to sneak up on you. He's been so good he hasn't touched it. I don't want to tempt him. All right. Getting there. Dustin. Oh, you need to run, baby boy. He lost a pound. Yeah, getting ready to go after that, right? Good boy. Go get it. Go get it. Scramble. Where is it? Good boy. Scramble. Oh, good boy. Let's see, where did it go? Get it. Get it. Wiggle that fanny. Usually I tell him wiggle his fanny, he goes after it. It's going by your tail. It's right by your tail. Yeah, it's right there. It's over here. See it? It's over here. Dustin, it's over here. Good boy. Where'd it go? It's right there. Ooh, good boy. You want it? He gets a little exercise. It's good for him. Right? It's good for you. Oh, it's by your tail again. You gonna get it? Hurry up, get it. See it? You want it? Hurry up, get it. Where'd it go? Oh. He's following it. It's back by your tail again. Oh. Where'd it go, Dustin? Too close to you? You want to jump on it, don't you? Get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it. Good boy. Good boy. Give him a little run. I bought him a little toy. Ah, like we need another cat meowing, right? Dustin has dogs all around him now. Downstairs. Dogs are your neighbors now. And he's like, who took over my territory? Little Yorkies, huh? All right, this is boiling and it is done. Down to simmer. Nice. There. So, that's that. I've got it down to low. Put the lid on it. So that's my recipe. That's my knit share. That's my Dustin cat share. Huh, baby boy? And I'm going to put this away and keep working on the border. And watch a little news, and then I'm going to watch a movie. I've been watching Mayor of Easton with Kate Winslet. I'm trying to figure out if I like it or not. Because Kate Winslet is having to do a very Pennsylvania, New Yorkie accent. And in order to do it, she has to hold her face in a very angry-looking way. And I think that's becoming like part of the character's look, which I don't like. It's just, I just am trying to, it's a limited episode, a real whodunit. And what I'm trying to figure out is whodunit. I think there's only 3 more episodes. I'm so angry that my yarn changed up so much. See how much it changed up? Well, I'll use it for something else. And I think what I'm finding is that this show is showing anybody could have done it, but you don't really get to be invested in the characters enough to care who did it. I feel like the person who the crime happened to, I didn't get to know well enough to care if they ever find who killed her. And everyone they kind of point to that might have killed her are people that are really nasty people, and I'm like, what the heck are you doing living in this town? So it's a whodunit, who murdered a person and a young girl, and then there's also a previous young girl that was murdered. So I'm kind of thinking when they solve her murder, they will solve the one before, and it won't be any of the people they're introducing us to in each episode. But I love the scenery. It's really Pennsylvania. All the houses are lined up quaint together. Everybody knows everybody. Or they're related to everybody, or they've been dating somebody. They all know her. So I'm kind of trying to figure that one out. I've also been watching The Crown. I got all the way up to as far as I can go. The Crown. Where Diana is finally in the fold, but then getting out of the fold. So Prince Charles and her are breaking up. I'm up to that point, and then I'm just waiting. What? What is it that you want? My attention, I know. Okay, I'm going to stop taping now and give you my attention. He's looking at his dish. He really did lose a whole pound, and I've been feeding him less and exercising him more, but he eats good. He eats a whole can of food plus a whole dish of indoor food. Right? Yeah. All right. We'll give him a treat. Take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging in, and I hope you have a beautiful Monday. Take care. Bye.